This race is Bowdoin v. Charleston. Bowdoin is in 789. Sorry, Bowdoin v. Dartmouth. Bowdoin's gray, Dartmouth's in red. So you gotta look through the other race to make this happen. So this is a race I think we end up with a big 1-4-5, a huge gap between the 4 and the 5. Something we're going to practice a little bit this week, because we were kind of misplaying the play 4s a lot. And this is where we're 1-3 here against the big green. This is where we got to be able to do some damage. We jibe and overlap to Lord. I think that's totally fine and a good thing. Hook. Play 1 here. So this happened a couple times yesterday on the run. It's probably worth talking about as a team, kind of figuring out what was happening at Mark III. I think sometimes we thought our teammates were cool on Mark III, and they really weren't. So we should talk about that as a team. is this? Big compression down low. They get a piece of boat 8. My sense is that boat 9 here, even if they can only get one boat, they want to get one boat. We'd almost rather round here 2, 3, 5 than one shitty 3, 5. You know, because they are setting up an aggressive wall. We're gonna practice probably going play 4 to play 2 this week. This is the final beat. Pretty big gap in R145. And if we're in boat 7 here, we want to try to get the red boat to be on the opposite tack of the group ahead. Really important. Really important. So lifted here, so you can easily justify like, hey, how could we're obviously not tacking. We don't have total control over them, but I almost think that if they tack to starboard and you wait a half second and then tack into a little bit more of a pinning position, that makes this conversion much harder for the red team because we're sailing towards the group here. This is where red is kind of getting towards help. You know, you could see 3 is kind of blacking, preventing boat 8 from tacking out, right? They got the back door and the front door covered, you know. We're on opposite tacks here, I think. That is fine. But we got to make sure that we stay on opposite tacks, you know. So 8 may have to be in a position where they get out, or 8 calls a switch and we can split again. Big lift here. Big lefty. Yeah, we balance hard maybe on boat 2. We can get 7 across. Still not really in anything firm just yet. Now it looks like we're almost back, play 4. Yeah, it just seems like, you know, red is in a slightly better position to balance, right? And they're the ones team racing first relative to us, and thus they're able to kind of get in control. I think 8 making that recognition, probably going down to boat 1 as soon as they can. They can lock that boat up. That's going to make our life easier. You know, 9's got to be closer to 2, I think. And I don't know how that one ends, but I know we lost 1-4-6, but we had a couple opportunities to make the 1-3 pass back happen there. I think there's some good stuff to talk about with the play 4. And then ultimately, I just think in these conditions, you know, you can't always dictate if you're in play 4 or play 2, but if you have an opportunity to go play 2, you definitely want to take it.